Hi there. Welcome to a post by Ange. I'm Angela, and today's Does It DIY is homemade natural deodorant. I'm also doing double duty today, so I'm in the process of wrapping up another DIY project. And since it's a rainy day, I figured I might as well throw myself into another DIY project. Let's see what we can do with natural homemade deodorant. Now, I've come across thousands of recipes in my research, but I'm going with the simplest recipe that I discovered amongst the thousands. I am confident that I will get some type of mixture. Where my confidence lacks is, will the product actually work? This project came with great timing as my husband's deodorant stick was running empty, and I thought this would be a great chance to reuse this container for the natural deodorant. In order to make sure there was no residue from the last deodorant stick, I soaked the container in warm water. So I have to admit, in all of the recipes I looked up for DIY home natural deodorant, there was a lot of variation. Some required more ingredients than others. So I chose the easiest recipe that only had 4 ingredients. This is what I have to confess. When I clicked on the pin to discover how to concoct the recipe, it took me to a German website, which I translated, and it said that the website host had a technical error, and to troubleshoot, click on this link. So whoever pinned this article obviously is no longer up and running, or maybe they've switched domains. Regardless, what I have done is looked at all the other recipes and did the same with this 4-ingredient recipe, hoping for the best here. We'll see. The 4 ingredients are as follows: half a cup of coconut oil, 1/3 of a cup of baking soda, and 1/4 cornstarch, as well as essential oils. Now that all the residue is clear from the old deodorant stick, I gave it a good paper towel dry and reconnected the base part into the deodorant stick tube and wound it all the way down to the bottom so that I'd be able to fill up the entire container. I took a small flat baking pan and put all the coconut oil into said pan. This way I'll melt it on the stove with ease. I moved the pan over to the stove and put the stove element on high so that it would melt the coconut oil quite quickly, but also I didn't have any directions on how to melt everything, so I just kind of guessed. Once the coconut oil was almost completely melted, I began to add in the essential oils, which was tea tree oil and lavender oil. And I just added them vigorously into the pan so that I could smell the aroma well, as I figured whatever I'm smelling currently is what I'll smell in the deodorant stick. So now that everything's fully melted, I'm putting in the baking soda and the cornstarch and just mixing it all around. There was some chunks forming within this mixture, so using the spoon I didn't find very helpful at all, so I switched over and began using a whisk. The whisk really helped to break up those clumps and made it a smooth finish. Once that was all complete, I dumped all the contents into the measuring cup. I gave the mixture another quick swirl with the spoon and prepared to empty the contents from the measuring cup into the container. It really filled easily and quickly, as you can see. Once it got to the top, I let it just sit for a few moments because I wasn't sure if it was going to leak out the sides or the bottom, and actually did create a little bit more space. So you saw I did a little top up, sealed it with the lid, and I was going to transfer it just by hand and realized, ooh, if I spill or drop it, not a good idea. So I'm just grabbing a bowl, placing it in the bowl in case it leaks or spills out the sides. And into the fridge it goes. After about 2.5 hours, this is what it looks like. Okay, so here we are, day 2 of wearing homemade, natural DIY deodorant. I find that it goes on very smoothly. It doesn't leave any clumps or residue. However, it mostly smells like coconut oil, so my biggest concern is that it would create oil stains on my shirts, which is why I'm wearing more of a tank topped style shirt to avoid that mess entirely. So I know that's a bit of a bias in my research. So what I've done, my husband, well, he volunteered actually. He put on the deodorant and went to work wearing his work shirt today. So I'll test and see how he smells when he gets home, and we'll see if it measures up. And if okay, so this is day 3 of wearing the natural homemade deodorant. Reportings from yesterday, I felt that just one application lasted the entire day for me, despite doing lots of errands around the house, grocery shopping, brisk walking with my dog and baby, as well as cleaning the house. So I didn't feel like I needed to reapply. However, my husband, on the other hand, when he came home from work, he wiped his hand underneath his armpit and put it to my nose. And he was like, babe, it didn't work. And when I smelt his hand, I began to gag, dry heave, and cough. He laughed hysterically. He actually thought we should have filmed it. And I was like, absolutely not. And he was like, well, we could do it again. I'm like, no, no, thank you, hard pass. So, anyways, didn't work for him, but I find with most natural deodorants, I've been using them for many years. On those more sweatier days, sometimes you do need to reapply 2 or 3 times. So, I'm not going to hold it against this DIY. So, I'm going to give this DIY a thumbs up. Play with those essential oils. I would say bump up the essential oils in deodorant so that you can really smell something other than coconut. But if you like the coconut smell, then maybe no essential oils, right? Or just a little bit to have that tea tree assist with the antibacterial properties. Join me next time, and don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to my page.